Hello friends, today's topic of discussion is steroids. So first part of this topic is basic introduction to steroids. So let us go straight to the first part. In this topic, we are going to see the basics of steroids. So this is the basic steroid nucleus. This basic steroid nucleus consists of four rings, and these four rings are named as ring A, ring B, ring C, and ring D. Now, if you look carefully, ring A, B, and C form a saturated phenanthrene structure. This entire part forms a saturated phenanthrene structure. Attached to it is cyclopentane ring, that is ring D. And therefore, this entire nucleus is known as cyclopentano per hydro because there is no double bond, per hydrophenanthrene. It contains 17 carbon atoms. I repeat, cyclopentanophenanthrene, sometimes also called as cyclopentano per hydrophenanthrene, consists of four rings A, B, C, and D, and the number of carbons are 17. There are other steroid nuclei which contain a similar cyclopentanophenanthrene structure. The C17 cyclopentanophenanthrene structure is known as gonane. If there is an angular methyl group here, then it becomes a C18 structure and it is known as estrane. Estrogens form a part of this structure. Then comes C19 structure where there are two angular methyl groups. This structure is known as androstane. Another C21 structure where there are angular methyl groups and there is a 2-carbon chain attached to cyclopentane. This is called as a pregnane structure. Progesterone and corticosteroids are a part of this pregnane structure. Then there is choline structure which has 24 carbon atoms. So attached to C17 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 carbon structure. Example is bile acid. Finally, cholesterol, the very famous cholesterol, contains the cholesterol ring. It contains 27 carbon atoms. And if you look at the choline structure, then the extension of choline structure by 3 carbons gives rise to cholestane structure. I hope everybody has understood. C17 is gonane, C18 is estrane, C19 is androstane, C21 is pregnane, C24 is choline, and C27 is cholestane. Now, let us see the numbering. This numbering pattern is unique and this is applicable to all the steroids. I will first name the rings A, B, C, and D. Now, the numbering starts with A ring, but it does not complete A ring. It goes to B ring and then comes to the junction carbon. Just see how this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Now, junction carbons, unlike the heterocyclic compounds or naphthalene, anthracene, the junction carbons are numbered. So this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, this is 9, Sorry. This is carbon number 9. And this is carbon number 10. Now we complete the A ring numbering as well as the B ring numbering. Remember again, junction carbons are numbered. Now go to C ring. Now C ring has 8 and 9 carbons common to B ring, and there are some carbons, 2 more carbons common to D ring. And therefore, you start numbering here. This is 11, this is 12. Now all the non-junction carbons of C ring are numbered. So go to the junction carbon 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. I repeat, first you complete A and B ring together. Then you go to the C ring, complete the rest of the numbering of the C ring, and then go to the D ring. Remember, junction carbons are also numbered. Now, let us see the numbering of other steroid nuclei. We have seen that of gonane, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go to 6 over here, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Now in Eastern, what is extra is angular methyl group. Rest of the numbering is just the same. And this angular methyl group is numbered as 18. Going to androsten. As compared to Eastern, what is extra is one more angular methyl group at C10. And this is numbered as 19. Okay. Going from androsten to pregnane, what is extra is this 2 carbon structure. So let us number first the angular methyl groups just the same as androsten, and then this is 17, right? This after 19, this becomes 20 and this becomes 21. Okay. Now, going from pregnant to choline, we know that this is 18, this is 19, this is 20, and this is 21. So, what adds on is numbered after that. So, this is 22, this is 23, and this carbon is 24 in choline. Next, coming to cholesterol. Once again, we know that this is carbon number 17, 18, 19. Then this becomes 20, this becomes 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. After 25, you can number any one methyl group as 26 and the other one as 27. My suggestion to you will be draw the structure and write the numbering once or twice so that you master it. The logic is whatever has been added gets the next number. Okay, so gonane, remember the numbering. In Eastern, one angular methyl group is added, so that gets 18. In androsten, there are 2 methyl groups added. So this we have already numbered as 18, and therefore this gets number 19. Then so on and so forth. Okay. Now going to stereochemistry of steroids. There are 4 rings, and all these 4 rings are not in the same line. You remember phenanthrene. Phenanthrene is slightly different from anthracene. Similarly, this cyclopentanophenanthrene, just have a look. This is A ring, B ring. B and C are locked in a different position than A and B. See, A and B are sideways locked. B and C are differently attached to each other. Then C and D are also sideways locked. Okay. And look at the structure. A and B have two common carbons. B and C have two common carbons. C and D also have two common carbons. But effectively, in ring D and ring C, there are four shared carbons. Two with one ring, two with the other ring. What is the result of this? The result is ring B and C are not conformationally flexible. They cannot change from one chair conformation to the other chair conformation. Okay. Whereas ring A, since it has only two shared carbons, it can change from one chair conformation to the other chair conformation. And therefore, AB fusion can be cis or trans. Have a look at this structure, the AB fusion trans. Why it is called so? Because I check the junction carbons. Okay. Here is a hydrogen atom. Now the hydrogen atom is pointing downwards, whereas angular methyl group is pointing upwards. And therefore the AB fusion is trans. Look at the BC fusion. This is the B and C junction carbons. At C, the hydrogen atom will be pointing upwards, whereas at B, the hydrogen atom is pointing downwards, and therefore the BC fusion is also trans. Look at the CD fusion. As I have always mentioned earlier, look at any sp3 hybrid carbon like a tripod stand and fourth valency pointing upwards, or like an inverted tripod with fourth valency pointing downwards. Now here, at this point of the CD junction, the tripod stand plus fourth valency pointing upwards. At the lower carbon of the CD junction, it is an inverted tripod with fourth valency that pointing downwards. And so these two are in trans position. Now, a ring can go from one chair conformation to the other chair conformation. Even D ring can go from one conformation to other conformation, but in steroids, the CD fusion is always trans, and so we are not going to have a look at the geometry, different geometry of the D ring. But A ring can go from one chair conformation to the other chair conformation. Okay. Now, these are drawn over here, but it is very important that you learn to draw these conformations. And so, let us see how to draw these conformations. First is AB trans. Easier to draw conformation is AB trans. Now, how to draw AB trans? Draw the A ring. Draw the B ring attached to it. Now the C ring is attached in a different way. So draw the C ring. Now the D ring. Okay. This is, just see, this is AB trans. Correct? Now, let us try to draw AB cis structures. Now, how to draw AB cis structure? Simple idea is to draw the B ring first. Okay. Draw the B ring. Then draw the C ring. After you draw B and C ring, draw the D ring. Now you go to the A ring. Just see how I am drawing the A ring in a different way. Does everybody get this? Now have a look at this. This is one of the junction atoms. The group or atom attached to it is pointing upwards. Here too, it is pointing upwards. The second junction atom. And so this is AB cis structure. I hope I have made myself clear, but all of you require to practice for this. Now coming to nomenclature. In nomenclature, the first step is to find out the number of carbons. And depending upon that, remember the nucleus. Now this is a C18 ring. Okay, there are cyclopentanophenanthrene and one angular methyl group. So it is a C18 ring. Therefore, it is estrane. Okay. Then it is better to put the numbering, because when you put the numbering, it is very easy to write the nomenclature. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and this is 17. So this is a C18. Therefore, this is estrane. 3 double bonds. So estra 135 trine. 3 17 beta diol. Okay, the major functional group is alcohol in absence of any ketone group, and therefore I have named it as a diol. Coming to these two are examples of androstane, because this is a C18 and this is C19 methyl group. Therefore, this is androstane. Now, this is simple. This is C17. So, and there is a double bond at 4, keto group at 3. So, androst 4-ene 3-one or 4-androstene 3-one. Okay. Attached to it is 17 beta hydroxy. So, this is 17 beta hydroxy 4-androstene 3-one. Coming to a slightly more complicated structure. Again, here, don't count this methyl group, because after C19 steroid, there is no C20 steroid. It is directly C21. And therefore, this is 18, this is 19. Consider it as C19 derivative androstane. Okay, so first, the parent chain is androstane, androst 4-ene 3-one. Okay, androst 4-ene 3-one or 4-androstene 3-one. Then there are substituents. Remember, you are not to write anything about 18 and 19 methyl groups as a substituents, because that is taken care in the name androstane. Androstane always has carbon number 18 and carbon number 19. So, there is hydroxy group at 4 and there is a hydroxy group at 17. Now, 4 is attached to sp2 carbon, but 17 is attached to sp3 carbon, and so 17 is pointing upwards. It is a beta. So 4, 17 beta dihydroxy. Why this? Because when there is a ketone present, hydroxy groups become prefixes, and so 417 beta dihydroxy, then there is 17 alpha methyl androst 4-ene 3-one. So this was as far as the nomenclature of C19 steroid is concerned. Now coming to C21 steroid. Okay, first of all, C21 steroid is pregnane. So you will use the nucleus pregnane. Okay. Here there is a double bond. Okay. Preg 4-ene and 320 dione. Getting this? Preg 4E in 320 dione. Now this E is complete because it is a dione. Dione or a trione have alkane, alkene, complete E. This E is there. Coming to this is progesterone. Look at this. This is corticosteroid type. Okay. Again, C21, this is 20, this is 21. Now, first decide the positions of the keto group. This is 3, this is 11, and this is 20. Okay. Then decide the positions of the hydroxy groups. The hydroxy groups are present at 17 position and 21 position. So 17 alpha, 21 dihydroxy. Then preg 4 in 3, 11, 20 trio. I hope I have made the nomenclature clear. Now, after nomenclature, we go to metabolism of steroids. I have taken one particular example of a C21 steroid. Okay, this is a C21 steroid. This is a corticosteroid, and let us see different metabolic reactions typical of steroids. Okay, first of all, if there is a carbonyl group at 3 position and there is a double bond at 4 position, how the metabolism occurs? In steroids which contain a carbonyl group at 3 position and a double bond at 4 position, the first step is reduction of the double bond. Just have a look at this. Note this particular thing, how I have written the structure. This is very typical structure writing method for steroids, when from here you start and you are indicating a reaction where rest of the structure is same. This indicates that rest of the structure is just like the previous step or starting material. You cannot write a structure in the first step with such type of bracket, remember. Once the double bond is reduced, then the keto group is reduced, either to give 3 alpha hydroxy or 3 beta hydroxy steroid. Okay. Now, hydroxylation is also known, and this hydroxylation typically occurs at position 6 and position 7. So, if it occurs at position 6, you get 6 alpha hydroxy steroid or 6 beta hydroxy steroid. If it occurs at position 7 also, you can get 7 alpha hydroxy or 7 beta hydroxy steroid. If there is a keto group at position 11, it can undergo reduction to give the corresponding hydroxy compound. Okay. Then, if there is a key alpha hydroxy group at C17, just like this, if there is an alpha hydroxy group, what happens is 17-21 cleavage takes place. This is 17, this is 20, 17-20 cleavage takes place and a ketone is formed at 17 position. Okay. 2 more reactions remaining. If there is a keto group at C20, as in this steroid, this can get reduced to alcoholic group. This alcohol can be alpha or beta. So, C20 alpha hydroxy or 20 beta hydroxy. The last reaction is oxidation at C21. Look at this structure. Attached to carbonyl at C20, there is a 21 carbon to which OH is attached. Now this carbon number 21 gets oxidized to so that alcohol gets converted to acid. Now the entire purpose of all these reactions is to increase the hydrophilicity so that phase 2 reactions can occur and the compound can be excreted. I hope I have made myself clear. Remember these positions. C3 and C4 reduction, C6 and C7 hydroxylation, C11 reduction, C20 reduction, okay, and C21 oxidation. Additionally, 1720 cleavage. Okay, this is as far as the reaction. One additional reaction metabolism of steroids that is done by microbes in the intestine is C21 hydroxy group is removed. Just see this reaction. C21 hydroxy group is removed. So COCH2OH is converted to COCH3. Now this occurs in microbes. This does not occur in human because in humans this will amount to increasing lipophilicity. Okay. So with that, we have completed the introduction to steroids. Here are some questions, but my suggestion to you will be to draw the confirmations and practice writing the nomenclature. With that, we stop this lecture at this point. The next lecture will be estrogens. Thank you.